name is Mariam, I'm 20 years old and I go to University of Kent. And this is my testimony that I just want to share with you guys. I was born in Nigeria, in North Nigeria, and I was born into a Muslim family. And in that family I was the oldest one out of 3 siblings before I got adopted and I moved to Sweden. My uncle adopted me, and when I moved to Sweden, everything just kind of changed to me, and that's when, it's only now that I realise when I got adopted, that's when God had such a big plan for me, and there was a reason why I moved to Sweden. In Sweden, there was me, and I have 5 younger brothers and sisters, and we lived in the capital of Sweden, and we lived can you say, an average Christian life where we went to church every now and then, we prayed together every now and then. However, I didn't have a relationship with God. I knew that God was a higher being, someone that was, someone bigger than me. However, I did not have a relationship with him, so I didn't know who he was, why he was there, and the reason why I was alive. I did not know the purpose I had in life. So throughout my life, living in Sweden until the age of 14, I was just living a normal life. I had a great childhood. My parents were great, even though I was a bit confused because I was adopted, and in terms of identity, I struggled really much in terms of just finding out who I was and knowing who I am. But in terms of friends, me and my friends went out and everything, but because I wasn't founded on a Christian life and I didn't know what a Christian should do and what they should not do, I lived my life just anyhow, pretty much. And then it got to the age of 14, my parents and we decided to move to England because we had family over here, and in terms of culture and identity, we find it much easier to just join in the community here. So we moved down here in 2006, and we started going to church here more regular, and we started praying more regular as well, and I kind of started to know who God was, even though when it comes to going to church, I was forced to go to church. I had no choice then to go to church, but when we got to church, I felt like there was no need for me to be there because I didn't gain anything out of it. I just sat at the back, just listened to the service. But I would leave there the same, thinking the same things, doing the same thing, continue sinning because no one told me what was right and wrong. I did not understand the reason of being alive and the reason for Christ. Even going to church, I still didn't know who Christ was. I still struggled with sin. I continued doing all sorts of things. For example, I found it really easy as a young person. I found it really easy to lie. I would, tweak my lies here and there, make white lies, and I continued just to sin and do the things of the world. Even though I did go to church and we did pray as a family, every night and everything, but I still struggled to find out who Christ was and know the reason why I was alive. Okay. So therefore, I was really confused about who I was in Christ, because even though I did go to church, even though I did see and I did hear what Christians are meant to do, I really struggled to do those things because I was bound and I was still doing the things of the world. But then there came a time where I was preparing for university, and I decided in my heart that I wouldn't go to church. I decided that I should not bother with this Christianity no more. I should just live a life as a student, continue just go out with my friends, go drinking, go clubbing, do normal student things and not seek church and seek Christ. But then again, when I got to uni, my whole plan got ruined pretty much, which was a great thing, to be honest, because that's when I met such people that were so hungry and so thirsty for Christ. I've never met I was so inspired by people's stories when I heard them, how they came into Christ and what kind of relationship they had with Christ. It really intrigued me, and it made me want to see Christ more, because in Matthew 5:6 it said that blessed are those that hunger and thirst for Christ because they shall be filled. And I just thought, what, let me give it a go, let me give it a chance, and let me seek Christ for myself, and let me get a revelation of him, and for me to have a better understanding of why I was alive and what my purpose in life was. And so I just continued to go to the youth meetings. I started going to church more often, and I just learned more about who Christ really was, and which gave me a better identity, which made me understand who I was. And even though I did have a lot of my friends who were not Christians, and I did struggle with how I had to please both sides. I had to please my Christian friends and I had to please my worldly friends, and it was more or less of choosing who I should be with. So my non-Christian friends, they thought, Mariam, you just being, two-faced. You left us to it. I struggled to please both sides of my Christian friends and my worldly friends, because life as a Christian, once you've chosen to follow Christ, the path becomes more narrower, and you just have to just let go of the things that are not of Christ. So what you need, what I came to understanding of was that I needed to let a few things go that were not of Christ for me to follow the Spirit. And once you just get on that path and you start following the Spirit, the more things of the Spirit becomes more attractive to you, and the things of the world are less attractive, because then you just come to an understanding that is not you, and that's not what God has for you. So I just find a way by attending all the meetings I need to attend, being deep in my word, just beginning to pray more and having an intimate relationship with Christ, just made me understand that there is more to life than the things of the world. There's more to life than just living anyhow and not having a purpose, not having an aim to reach out for. So I just understand, and I've come to an understanding that being a Christian is not easy. It's not an easy thing to go through. I'm not going to lie to you. It's not that easy. I've struggled every now and then when it comes to being in my word, praying, keeping my prayer life at the top and stuff. So it has been difficult. However, we need to understand that at the end of the day, there is a reason why I'm walking on this path. There is a reason why I am here at this very moment. There is a reason why God created me. There is a reason why God created me, and there is a reason why I'm standing here today and sharing my testimony with you, because there's so many people out there struggling with exactly the same thing that I've struggled with in terms of sin. And just coming into Christ, you need to understand that Romans 8 said that there is no condemnation to those that are in Christ, but who don't walk after the flesh but walk after the Spirit. So we need to understand that once we are in Christ, we become new. We are new people, we're a new creation in Christ. And just make sure that the one thing that we look at is Jesus Christ, because He's the author and the finisher of our salvation, of our life as well. And I just want to encourage everyone that's watching this video that there is a light at the end of the path and everything, and at the end of the tunnel. And I just want to say that it's not going to be an easy journey, but it's a journey that's worth taking, because Jesus Christ is everything.